Hey there. So glad you're here. Thanks for joining. Welcome to the Web Design Mastery Series. This was a webinar where we talk about unlocking the secrets to 4x your website conversions, turning more of your website visitors into leads and good conversations. Whether you're joining us for the first time or picking up where you left off, each of the episodes is really meant to stand on its own. There's no set order for these, so watch them however you would like. In any case, the series is really designed for us. We're guiding you through the art and the science of web design. Each of the different episodes is different topics, different content. They are all packed with really good information and actionable ideas that you can take and put into practice on your own to improve your online presence and improve your website. Make sure to watch the whole series. Capture all of the information and all these ideas to really improve your web design game and turn more of your visitors into conversations. Thanks again. Enjoy. All right, so let's jump in and talk about the copywriting blueprint. So when we talk about copywriting, what we're referring to with web design is really the words we put onto the page, right? What we say, how we say it. So we're talking about things like emotive headlines, communicating the value proposition, formatting of text on the page, vocabulary, sentence structure. These kinds of things are all important and come into play here. So with images and videos being so important these days and so common, you might even say, do words even matter? They definitely do, definitely still do matter. However, I would say we want to make sure we're spending most of our time on headlines. So 8 out of 10 people only read headlines. 80% don't even get into the body or the text of an article, just the headlines. So we want to make sure that we're communicating as much as possible with that, with our headlines. And we want to make sure that what we are communicating is capturing attention. So the folks who are going to read it are going to be captivated and interested and kind of read on. So with regards to the length of a headline, we want to make sure we're keeping that right about the sweet spot of 10 to 13 words. Fewer than 7, really not enough. More than kind of 13 or 14 words is really too many. So we want to be right in that sweet spot of 10 to 13 words. That's going to generate typically double the traffic of, again, too long or too short. So a little more on how much people read or don't read, I should say. So when we look at 73% of people will skim rather than read a blog post. So 73% of people don't get into the actual content, they really just skim through. And then readers spend an average of 37 seconds on an article. So not a lot of time. Again, really kind of almost the same there as skimming. But just reiterating here that it's important to make sure we're communicating as much as we can through the headlines, as well as kind of some of the headers and the way we break up the content on the page to make sure that we're making it easy for people who aren't going to read every single word. So a quick quote from David Ogilvy: on the average, 5 times as many people read the headline as read the body copy. When you've written your headline, you've spent 80 cents out of your dollar. So again, just really kind of supporting the idea that headlines are absolutely critical. All right, so moving into kind of format and complexity. So we want to look at how we're structuring things. For example, 95% of people will view all or part of an intro paragraph if it is bolded. So bolding text is a way to capture attention. Listicles is another one. Listicles would be top 10 this, 3 best something. Those are types of listicles. So they're going to receive 80% more views than other formats. We're also looking at some really good stats around mixing in lists in terms of the copy. So one list every 500 words will increase your traffic 70%. So these are kind of ways to really break up things. You know, if it's just paragraph, just a little bit boring. When we start to mix in bolded text, listicles, kind of lists, you know, mixed in with other words, that's really going to start to capture people's attention, keep them reading and keep them engaged. All right, so then looking at how complex or vice versa, how simple we want things to be. Emails at a 3rd grade level receive 36% more responses. So important to keep it simple. We don't want to talk over somebody. We don't want to use big words to sound intelligent or important. It's most important that we communicate our message clearly and keep people interested. So then looking at the other kind of end of the spectrum, When we look at low performing content, 41% of low performing content has too many complex words. So very common, most of the low performing content is going to have too many complex words, also too many long sentences. 43% of low performing content has too many long sentences. So again, short, sweet, simple is kind of the name of the game here. All right, so wrapping up on the copywriting blueprint, very short and sweet messaging here as well, but important kind of aspects to keep in mind as you're putting together the content and really kind of structuring it on your website to keep people interested and engaged in reading the content that you're putting out there. So key takeaways: spend time creating irresistible headlines. Very, very important to spend most of our time doing that. If we're going to spend time anywhere, spend it on getting your headlines right. Use headers and visuals to allow for skimming, right? We want to make it easy to read for people who don't want to get into every single word. Use lists and formatting to maintain attention. We want to thoroughly edit grammar and spelling. It's not important to use big words. It is important to have correctly spelled words. And then use simple vocabulary, simple sentence structure. Really make it easy for people to engage and kind of continue on reading. Hey there, thanks for hanging out to the end. Hopefully you found the content valuable. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Definitely love to see you back soon in one of our next videos. Definitely also check out the others in this series. There's no particular order, but it was a web design webinar broken down into a couple different sections. So again, hopefully you're able to put some of this into practice, grow your business. That's really our goal with this content. We do provide marketing services, but our goal with putting out content is to help business owners like yourself do some of these things on their own and get some incremental growth over time. Definitely love to see you back in one of our next videos soon. Thanks again. Appreciate your time.